Well, hello, sunshines. So, just like many of you, here in the state of Massachusetts, we have had some snow and we are under frigid temperatures. But nevertheless, we're getting some work done today. I had to go out into the yard though in the snow, and it was such a beautiful snow, a beautiful day. I do love the snow. I like living in the state of Massachusetts. I don't know if I can live somewhere that doesn't have snow. I really don't know how you all do it, all my other garden friends in other states. But anyways, I did go outside. I had to shake some of our evergreens out. I want to get the snow off because the snow is heavy. The frigid temperatures that we're having was going to freeze the snow on top of those evergreens. And if you remember, I just put my evergreens in the ground. Therefore, the evergreens are babies. And if I leave the weight of the snow on the evergreens and it freezes, it can begin to bend. I actually was shaking some of the snow off of one of the, I believe it was an arborvitae. I was shaking the snow off the arborvitae. And when I was shaking the snow off the arborvitae, I noticed that it was bending a little. Like if I didn't do what I did, it probably would have snapped off. Had to also go outside and check on animals, make sure the chickens had a dry place to walk to get their feed, and then peek in on the goats and the pigs to make sure they were okay. Now we're back in the warm house, and what I wanted to do was start seeds. Finally, we're going to start seeds. I am starting seeds early, just so you all know, fair warning, that I'm starting some seeds early. I got this 72 cell tray last year and haven't used it, so we're going to use this. I also purchased this little mat because, as I always say, um, my counter is so tired of me making a mess. And so I see a lot of people use this mat, and I said, you know what? Let me grab this. So grabbed it off of Amazon. It was about $8. I think by the time taxes and everything, it turned out to be $9 when it got shipped. So let's get it out and see what it's all about. That right there. I don't need you right now. So what we have to remember is that, so today marks there to be 58 days until spring. But for me, and I got the large one, so if you're interested in purchasing it, let me move all this stuff. And so this one, let me finish. This is the large mat, and look, it covers my whole counter, but it also snaps on the side, and that way, when you have like leftover soil or anything in here, you can easily put it back in the bag, or it's an easy cleanup if you're going to throw it in the trash. It makes for an easy cleanup. So you snap the sides, and it looks like this. So if I want to dump some out, I can use one of these corners. Just grab it all together, use one of these corners, have everything slide like that, and dump it back in. So pretty cool. I thought it was. And so we have 58 days to spring. So we have to remember that 58 days to spring for me doesn't mean, oh, all of my plants go outside. I am 13 weeks and 6 days away from my last frost. So it's your last frost that you can begin to put things outside, your spring things and your vegetables and your flower, whatever it is that you're going to put out there. And I'm technically 97 days away, 13 weeks and 6 days and 97 days a week. My last frost is not until April 28th. And that can be late for some people that live in warmer climates. So yeah, April 28th. I don't remember what it was last year. So I can't even kind of say whether it's later or it's not. Later than last year or not. And so I don't even think I need you, but she's cute. And so the way I like to do my seed starting is I use potting mix. I think I told someone this. Someone asked me in the comment section, like, what do you use? Show us the mix you use. This right here, I'm still using that bag of Costa Maine that has carried me a long way. And so I do like to use potting mix. I've used seed starting mix as well. I mean, they both work, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. So we're going to get this soil in here. And I believe I'm only going to fill up half this tray today. And then the other side, I'll come back and fill it up on another day. And you're going to just make sure you push the soil down in here. And everybody does their seed starting differently. This is just how I start my seeds. And so I'm going to go ahead and just make sure that I get that soil down in there, leaving space at the top to drop my seed and space at the top to just put a little more soil on top to cover it. You can poke a hole through I can poke a hole if I wanted to. I can do it that way, poke a hole in there and then drop the seed. But I'm just going to put the seed on the top, and then I'm going to just put some extra soil right on top or to cover it up. You want to moisten your soil. Depending upon how you like to do things, you can do this before or after. Like I said, I've done it many ways. I have my spray bottle here for the ending, but what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take my little my watering can. Isn't she cute? I think I spent about $13 for this watering can over at the Home Depot. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. So let me fill her up with water. Okay, so she's all filled up, and what I'm going to do is saturate each hole, let in to get out all the air pockets. I'm going to just let everything just get saturated. And this will clear any air pockets in the soil, and whatever's left over will just go down into our base. Because this comes with the and I guess it would have helped if I would have took it out. Okay, so in here we have some plant vitamin for the seedlings. It also, oh, this is nice. It also gave us some tags. I have some tags. And so we have the tray for the bottom, which is where the water should be going. The excess water will go in there. Okay, so let's get this right. And then we have a dome. And so the water was completely draining, but we'll let it do it again. And let me rinse this dome off. Okay, we have our potting mix, our dome. I have over here my labels. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to label what we're going to plant today. I have a few colors, but I'm just going to go with the white labels. So here are the flowers. We're going to be starting flowers today. Whew. So we're going to be starting some pansies. Going to be starting some delphinium. And we're going to start foxglove as well. Those are the 4 seeds that I will be placing in the trays on today. So I'm just using these white, and I have a Sharpie here. Hopefully it still works. It was out in the shed. So we'll put our delphinium. And it's not working, but I think I have another one. And so be sure to label. So we have our delphinium. I remember I labeled all of my plants and did all the things. And then I stuck them in the, planted up my seedlings. I put the labels with them and everything. And then our friend, Mr. Brown, came and jumped in the flower bed and dug up all of the pepper. They were pepper plants, and they were all over the place, so I couldn't tell which was, oh my gosh, which was hot peppers, which was, I just had to worry about it after. I love him. I have so many stories about him. So last but not least, our foxglove. Let's cap that marker. Okay. So as you can see here, and if you didn't see, I have one row for the delphinium. Well, this can take 2 rows. So 2 rows for each. So, and I might actually just do one of delphinium and 3 rows of pansies. I want a lot of pansies, or I'll just probably overseed and then up pot. And so what you want to do when you're looking at your seed packets, and be sure to read the back. I've already told you all that I am 13 days, 13 weeks, I'm sorry, 13 weeks and 6 days away from my last frost. And so this particular seed tells me that I can sow it indoor about 12 weeks before transplanting. So I'm going to be sowing this a week and 6 days early, or whatever, a week early, whatever we want to call it, a week early, because technically I should be starting them next week, but that is not what I'm going to do. Okay, so you can follow the package. You also have seed packets that will tell you, like, you can start outdoors and all the things. And so when you're sticking your seeds in your soil, let me start with the delphinium since that's first. I don't want to mix up these seeds. So like I stated, it says that, I should start this seed about, this one actually, delphinium says 8 weeks before my start date. Before my last frost, I should say. So 8 weeks before my last frost date, which is April 28th. So I'm starting this really early. And the reason I am starting this early is because all of these flowers I've never did from seed. And I just want to make sure I have good germination, make sure that I'm just babying them along the way. The worst that can happen is that they get big and I have to up pot them. That's the worst that can happen with these. And so because I'm sowing them super early, and I'm okay with that. I will up pot if I have to, but this is what the delphinium seeds look like. But I had this plant in my garden and it was so beautiful. I was like, if I could have more. For me, this packet says it's a perennial. There's tons of seed in there. I am going to put at least 2 to 3 in each tray. At least 2 to 3 seeds. There we go. And I think for the delphinium, I'm just going to do 1 row. And if they all germinate, what I'll do is just separate them. That's it. So I really want success with this plant. This is why I'm starting early with it. I could be wrong about starting early with it, but it's okay. So we have the delphinium. Now pansies, I want a lot of pansies, and that's the one that says I can start indoors 12 weeks before my last frost. That's fine. So this one is a week ahead. The delphinium is a few weeks. I'm not worried about it. And so I want a lot of these. So I'm going to do 3 rows of pansies. Pansies are good in the spring and fall. And so I want to just be able to see if I can, once again, I'm going to sow 1 to 2 seeds. Since I'm doing a lot of trays, I'm going to try my best to only drop 2 seeds, I think. But I want to be able to use these flowers, these pansies inside of my containers. So, and there's plenty of other information on the packet. So please feel free and read through the packet all the more. This is just how I'm doing these. So when I at least drop 2 seeds per container, I dropped 3 in that one. Oh, that one got 2. These seeds are so small. Did I show you all the seeds? See what they look like. And foxglove is, and I'm going to move this pansy tag over. So we have delphinium and we have 3 rows of pansies. And then foxglove. I want foxglove just like I want the delphinium. I grew, look how pretty that is. I grew foxgloves in my yard. One of them I got from the store. It's biannual, which means technically it shouldn't bloom for me this year because it was already in bloom last year. They bloom every other year. So we'll see. But the other thing to know about in these seeds, you guys, I don't even know if you all will be able to see them. Look how small those seeds are. Foxglove is a toxic plant. I will be washing my hand. It's toxic from, I'm trying not to drop too many seeds in here, but they're so tiny. Oh my goodness. You want to be careful with foxgloves around animals. If you have cats and dogs, it's toxic from the seed to the root. Wow. And so these seeds should last for a very long time. I might just sow. And just like the delphinium, these foxgloves are perennial in my location. Here are the pansies that we just sowed. And here's a delphinium. Okay. Those are. So please read the back of your packets. That way you'll know. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this dry soil and I'm going to just cover them up. And with those foxgloves, they don't need much covering. Those seeds are so small. You want to make sure that they germinate. Check your packet for, there's so many different things that you have to check for when you're sowing seeds. You know, and it's so interesting because I just feel like I do them all the same way. Once again, I don't know if that's good or bad, but it must be good because it always works for me. I tend to get good germination on everything, unless the seeds have been old. And so I'm going to simply just cover those seeds, lightly cover the seeds with this dry soil. And then I'll take my spray bottle. My spray bottle is what I'm going to be using to continue to make sure that this does not dry out. Do not let your seeds dry out. And so if I were to use the water canner, that water canner that I just had, it might dislodge the seeds, which means it might move the seeds all over the place and it might make them go deeper. And so what we want to do is take the bottle and we want to mist the seed. So I'm misting the seeds or the soil. So that way, because remember the seeds are above, although I already watered the soil, that water is underneath the seed, if that makes sense. The moistened soil is underneath the seed. So we want to make sure that we moisten the top layer of that. So now this top layer has been moistened, and I will continue to use the spray bottle to make sure that these seeds do not dry out. and give them a good spray. And so now we're gonna just put our lid on and let me do a little cleanup. So this mat, the cleanup was easy. I just took it over to the sink and rinsed it out. I still see some dirt on it. And so it was either this or the tidy tray. I went with this because I knew I would be using it inside my home, and I didn't want to have to find somewhere to store the tidy tray. And so this, and it comes with the Velcro strap, so you can just fold it up, take it. It has this little flap right here, and there you have it. So now you can store this wherever. And so I'll be storing it over there with my I'll be storing it over there on my ceiling station. So that works out great. Okay, and so here's our tray. Here is our tray that we got done today. I'm so excited to have started some seeds. It's just, you know, something that we all itch to do. So getting these seeds started, I'm so happy. I don't need to put light on them. I don't think some seeds, you do need lighting to make them germinate. I'm not going to put lighting on them right now. Where I'm going to put them over there in my little station that I set up this year. I'll stick them over there, and then we'll see and wait for them to germinate. That's the other thing. Look at the germination time frames. Some seeds will germinate 7 to 10 days, others, 21 days. Like, there are some seeds that take a while to germinate. And so I'm going to just get everything cleaned up. Well, thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for all your congratulations. And we'll be back. And until next time, you all have an amazing day. Blessings. Bye.